Spent 24 hours, I need more hours with you. You spent the weekend getting even. Ooh. We spent the late nights making things right between us. But now it's all good, babe. Roll that backward, babe, and play me close. Cause girls like you run around with guys like me till sundown. When I come through, I need a girl like you, yeah, yeah. Girls like you love fun and yeah, me do what I want. When I come through, I need a girl like you, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I need a girl like you, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I need a girl like you. I spent last night on the last flight to you. We took a whole day up, trying to get way up. Ooh. We spent the daylight trying to make things right between us. And now it's all good, babe. Roll that backward, babe, and play me close. Yeah, cause girls like you run around with guys like me till sundown. When I come through, I need a girl like you, yeah, yeah. Girls like you love fun and yeah, me do what I want. When I come through, I need a girl like you, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I need a girl like you, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I need a girl like you, yeah, yeah. Spend 24 hours, I need more hours with you. You spent the weekend getting even. Oh. We spent the late nights making things right between us. But now it's all good, babe. Roll that backward, babe, and pay me close. Cause girls like you run around with guys like me till sundown. When I come through, I need a girl like you, yeah, yeah. Girls like you love fun and yeah, me too. I want when I come through, I need a girl like you, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I need a girl like you, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I need a girl like you. I spent last night on the last flight to you. We took a whole day up, trying to get way up, ooh. We spent the daylight trying to make things right between us. And now it's all good, babe. Roll that backward, babe. Pay me close. I need a girl like you, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I need a girl like you, yeah, yeah. Maybe it's 6:45, and maybe I'm barely alive, and maybe this is really it for the last time. And maybe I know that I'm drunk, maybe I know you're the one. Maybe I'm thinking it's better if you drive. Oh, cause girls like you run around with guys like me till sundown. When I come through, I need a girl like you, yeah, yeah. Girls like you love funny, yeah, me too. What I want when I come through, I need a girl like you, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I need a girl like you, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I need a girl like you, yeah, yeah.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching my cover of Girls Like
You. But then I get so numb with all the laugh.
Loving can hurt. Loving can hurt sometimes, but it's the only thing that I know. When it gets hard, you know it can get hard sometimes. It is the only thing that makes us feel alive. We keep this love in a photograph. We made these memories for ourselves, where our eyes are never closing, hearts are never broken, time's forever frozen still.
So you can keep me inside the pocket of your ripped jeans, holding me closer till our eyes meet. You won't ever be alone. Wait for me to come home.
Loving can heal. Your loving can mend your soul, and it's the only thing that I know. I swear it will get easier. Remember that with every piece of you. And it's the only thing we take with us when we die. We keep this love in this photograph. We made these memories for ourselves, where our eyes were never closing, our hearts were never broken, and time's forever frozen still.
So you can keep me inside the pocket of your ripped jeans, holding me closer till our eyes meet. You won't ever be alone. And if you hurt me, well, that's okay, baby. Only words bleed. And inside these pages, you just hold me, and I won't ever let you go. Wait for me to come home.
Wait for me to come home.
Wait for me to come home.
Wait for me to come home. Oh, and you can fit me inside the necklace you got when you were 16, next to your heartbeat where I should be. Keep it deep within your soul. And if you hurt me, that's okay, baby. Only words bleed. Inside these pages, you just hold me, and I won't ever let you go. When I'm away, I will remember how you kissed me under the lamppost back on 6th Street, hearing you whisper through the phone. Wait for me to come home. You must think that I'm stupid. You must think that I'm a fool. You must think that I'm new to this.
but I've seen this all before. I'm never gonna let you close to me, even though you mean the most to me. 'Cause every time I open up it hurts. So I'm never gonna get too close to you, even when I mean the most to you, in case you go and leave me in the dirt. But every time you hurt me, the less that I cry. And every time you leave me, the quicker these tears dry. And every time you walk out, the less I love you. Baby, we don't stand a chance. It's sad, but it's true. I'm way too good at goodbyes. I'm way too good at goodbyes. I know you're thinking I'm heartless. I know you're thinking I'm cold, but I'm just protecting my innocence. I'm just protecting my soul. I'm never gonna let you close to me, even though you mean the most to me. 'Cause every time I open up it hurts. So I'm never gonna get too close to you, even when I mean the most to you, in case you go and leave me in the dirt. But every time you hurt me, the less that I cry. And every time you leave me, the quicker these tears dry. And every time you walk out, the less I love you. Baby, we don't stand a chance. It's sad, but it's true. I'm way too good at goodbyes. I'm way too good at goodbyes. No way that you'll see me cry. I'm way too good at goodbyes. No, 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 no. No way that you'll see me cry. I'm way too good at goodbyes. 'Cause every time you hurt me, the less that I cry. And every time you leave me, the quicker these tears dry. And every time you walk out, the less I love you. Baby, we don't stand a chance. It's sad, but it's true. I'm way too good at goodbyes. Cups and sweaty bodies everywhere, hands in the air like we don't care. 'Cause we came to have so much fun now. Got somebody here, might be the one now.
If you're not ready to go home, can I get a hell no? 'Cause we're gonna go all night till we see the sunlight, alright.
So la-da-dee-da-dee, we like to party, dancing you and me, doing whatever we want. And this is our house, and this is our rules, and we can't stop, and we won't stop. Can't you see it's we who own the night?
Can't you see it's we who about that life?
And we can't stop, and we won't stop. We run things, things don't run. We
don't take nothing from nobody.
Yeah, yeah.
Trying to live it up, shaking it like they can't get enough. Remember, only God can judge us. Forget the haters, 'cause somebody loves you.
Memories made till the night's through, surrounded by the ones who love you. We all so turned up here, getting turned up, yeah.
lovey-dovey, we like to party, dancing you and me, doing whatever we want. This is our house, this is our rules,
and we can't stop, and we won't stop. Can't you see it's we who own the night?
Can't you see it's we who about that life?
And we can't stop, and we won't stop. We run things, things don't run. We don't take nothing from nobody. Yeah, yeah. It's our party, we can do what we want to. It's our house, we can love who we want to.
It's our song, we can sing if we want to. It's my mouth, I can say what I want to.
And we can't stop, and we won't stop.
Can't you see it's we who own the night? Can't you see it's we who about that life?
And we can't stop, and we won't stop. We run things, things don't run. We don't take nothing from nobody. Yeah, yeah. It's our party, we can do what we want to. It's our house, we can love what we want
Can't you
to.
see it's we who own the night? Can't you see it's we who about that life?
It's our song, we can sing if we want to. It's my mouth, I can say what I want
We
to.
run things, things don't run we.
'Cause we can't stop. Heart beats fast, colors and promises. How to be brave? How can I love when I'm afraid to fall? But watching you stand alone, all of my doubt suddenly goes away somehow. One step closer. I have died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 more. Time stands still, beauty in all she is. I will be brave, I will not let anything take away what's standing in front of me. Every breath, every hour has come to this. One step closer. I have died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 more. And all along I believed I would find you. Time has brought your heart to me. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 more. One step closer. day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I've loved you for 1,000 years. I'll love you for 1,000 more. And all along I believed I would find you, and time has brought your heart to me. I've loved you for 1,000 years. I'll love you for 1,000 more. One step closer. One step closer.
Oh, thinking about all our younger years. There was only you and me. We were young and wild and free. Now nothing can take you away from me. We've been down that road before, and that's over now. You keep me coming back for more.
And baby, you're all that I want. When you're lying here in my arms, I'm finding it hard to believe we're in heaven. And love is all that I need, and I found it there in your heart. It isn't too hard to see we're in heaven.
Oh, once in your life you find someone who will turn your world around, bring you up when you're feeling down. Now nothing can change what you mean to me. Oh, there's lots that I could say. Just hold me now, 'cause I love like way.
And baby, that I want. When you're lying here in my arms, I'm finding it hard to believe we're in heaven. And love is all that I need, and I found it there in your heart. It isn't too hard to see
Farizan, do I keep my camera off or on before the speech? Yeah, and after the speech.
tonight we are here to have fun, and tonight we are here to have new perspective. But before we begin, today we are here in partnership with Ar Riqab organization. Ar Riqab is a social welfare organization that has been put a lot of effort in making project for the poor and for the unfortunate around KL, especially in Chowkit. If you like to donate and to help the organization making more social welfare uh, projects, you can donate to them or you can donate to any organization. The information will be in the description down below. You can just look it up, and donate wherever you want. Now, I want to give my appreciation to our coordinator for this event, Prof. Dr. Hanafi. He actually gave a speech to us, and I will read it for the audience, and the speech goes like this. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and salam sejahtera. Good evening, selamat datang, and welcome to Reset Podcast Forum. Jangan ke sana, ke sini. The virtual program of Square One Podcast Forum on Jangan ke sana, ke sini is to fulfill one of the requirement of ethic and professionalism course, a compulsory course at the Faculty Arts and Science Social University Malaya. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to board speaker of this forum, Dr. Azmawati Muhammad Noor, Senior Lecturer at the Faculty of Education, University Malaya, and Mr. Ahmad Amirul Arif bin Razak, Secretary Pertubuhan Kebajikan Ar Riqab Kuala Lumpur. Thank you so much for your kindness and willingness to spend your valuable time and share your experience during this podcast forum. I also would like to express my sincere thanks to the member of the audience, listener, and viewers for being with us at this event. Your support is very meaningful to the program and is highly appreciated. And not to forget, to all sponsor and donor, your contribution to the people who are in need, we are appreciate it very much, and hope all of you are always blessed. Last but not least, to all students and the committee member of this event, congratulations on your success organizing this event. I hope all of you are ready to face the real world in your internship program. On behalf of the Faculty of Arts and Social Science, congratulations to all, and thank you again for all your hard work. And to all, stay safe, healthy, and enjoy the program. Sincerely, Association Prof. Dr. Hanafi Hussein. All right, that's all for Dr. Hanafi speech. And right now, uh, I would like to invite Director of Square One Podcast, Nina, to give a short of this. Nina?
All right. Hi, guys. I hope all of you are doing well. Thank you for joining us for tonight's special event. As you all know, this MCO period has been a new experience for all of us, and it has had its ups and downs as we all struggle through it. So I hope today's forum session helps all of you in finding ways to cope and just to go along with it. So I'd like to thank Dr. Azmawati and Amirul for lending their time to be with us tonight. We are very, very, very grateful. I'd also like to thank my team. You guys have done so much in order to make tonight a success, and this wouldn't have been possible without each and every one of you. As we all settle in for this forum, I'd like to urge all of you to donate to the organizations that we are working with. These organizations are the ones that support the less fortunate in the society and the ones that are most affected by the COVID-19. So the links and the account numbers, I think, should be down in the description box below. So let's all give a helping hand to each other during this pandemic. Every little amount counts, be it 10 cents or 10 ringgit, it definitely goes a long way. So yeah, thank you everyone, and I hope you guys enjoy the night.
All right, thank you, Nina. So, to begin with, let me introduce you our forum event. So our forum name we said Jangan Kesana Kesini. The main topic for tonight is adapting to the new normal, and joining us for forum discussion to beloved panelists. It is my honor to introduce you Dr. Azmawati Muhammad Noor, Senior Lecturer, Department of Psychology and Counseling. She also a licensed counselor from Board of Counselor and experience to work with the adolescents and young adults in the educational system. Her academic interest in the field of counseling and psychology cover adolescents' health and well-being, women, family, and career, and also crisis counseling. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Doctor. How are you doing, Doctor?
I'm doing fine. Thank you, Jijan.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So, our second panelist for today, the founder of Ar Riqab organization. To be more specific, secretary of Ar Riqab. He also in University of Malaya student, studied in international relation and strategic faculty, arts and science social. Our representative for today, Mr. Ahmad Amirul Arif. Thank you for joining us today. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you for inviting.
Yeah. All right, glad to hear that. Without wasting our time, let's move on to the main event for tonight, the forum discussion. So to begin, the main topic for our discussion, the effect of COVID-19 pandemic has caused a massive change to our life. Changes that have often uh, happen rapidly. Life's adjustment often comes with a range of experience and emotion. Sometimes that transition can feel smooth, and sometimes the journey to the new normal is choppy or downright bumpy. So, in just 3 months, it's a short time period. People had already need to adapt to this new normal, and I think my first question to Dr. Azmawati, is there a specific time for human beings to be able to adapt to a new lifestyle?
Okay, thank you, Ijan. But firstly, I think I prefer to be called as I'm actually better known as Dr. Azzi.
Okay.
So anyway, when we talk about COVID, this is something very interesting. I've been invited to be on many webinars and talks to discuss about adaptation to new normal, and especially when it comes to the pandemic COVID. Yeah. So when we talk about COVID-19, it has actually drastically changed lives. And the year 2020 is basically marked as a very challenging year, not only for me, perhaps, but also for all of us, for you, Ijan,
Yeah.
and for Nina, for Amiro maybe. So it's for the entire world, and it's just not for Malaysian, but the entire world. For no nation has seen this current circumstances. Well, it has caused a massive spike, and especially in anxiety levels across the globe. I'm sure you know that.
Yeah.
We've read about that, we've heard about it. And as China locked a lot of districts, and now it's happening again, they say it's the second spike or the second wave in Beijing. And Italy, before that, followed a similar pattern where there were high rates of infection. So when you ask me the question about adapting to new lifestyle, what is it that you understand about new lifestyle? Okay, we called it as new normal. New normal. Ijan sendiri tadi, you use the word adjustments,
Yeah.
adaptation. So it's very interesting that change is inevitable. Change is something that everybody needs to adjust. So when we talk about, is there any specific time period? So um, we have to actually understand the psychological well-being of a person, because everybody wears makeup. Ijan, you're wearing makeup too, you know.
No, I'm not.
Makeup. Psychological makeup means you're affective. ABC. I batu campur. That's actually affective. That's your emotion.
Yeah.
Your thoughts. C
Yeah.
is your cognitive, and B is translated into your behavior.
Yeah.
So we choose whether we wanted to adapt. We choose whether we wanted to change. So we choose. And like you said, coping. Our coping mechanism is different. I might take a shorter time period to adjust in comparison to others that may have other issues, and they don't probably understand, okay, about their own well-being. So it takes longer time for them. So when you say, is there any specific time period, I wouldn't want to say yes, there is, but it I should have said that it depends on the person itself, whether they are willing to change, um, or they take a longer period to adjust. Okay.
All right, I understand. I think everyone can agree with that because I think, for scientifically, it couldn't be proven because we have people that are very slow and couldn't adapt to a new lifestyle in such short period of time. There's someone a very fast learner,
Yeah.
then they can adapt to new lifestyle in such short period. Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
understand. And
Yeah.
the question for Amirul, do you think the new
Yeah.
normal changed your work ethic in organization? That's one. And two, as a student, how do you adapt to this new study ethics such as online learning session and such?
Okay, so the first question is how COVID, this new normal change work ethic in the organization or in the organization now.
Yes.
Basically, it changed a lot. Most of our program, most of our previous program that we normally do cannot be done during MCO. But then we change our sort of, we cater the needs of the people. For example, usually we feed to the homeless, but during the MCO, as all of us know, the homeless are being gathered in a temporary shelter, right? So mainly we cater less of these, our main focus, but during MCO we cater the urban first and those who are affected. For example, those who work as a buskers, or at a market, and then they cannot work because of MCO. So usually they are not listed as our focus group, our clients, but because of MCO we have to cater it. And there are some guidelines that been set up by the government or by agency. For example, we want to give donations or food aids. There are specific number of people, or we have to do social distancing, and clients have to wear masks and everything. So that is kind of very challenging, especially in the social distancing one, because people are hungry, and when we ask them to queue or register themselves for 1 meter, usually it won't work. Yes, yeah. And as for me as a student, the transition from the normal to the MCO is very rapid. It's just like in a snap, like the next week, in 2 days time, or everything is cancelled, and we don't know how the class, how the evaluation will be. It can give like a stress to me. But then when we listen to the government announcement and everything, at least it gives some peace to us.
Yeah.
To me.
All right. I think we all can relate to that, especially as a student myself. I think there's a lot of changes that have been happened during this COVID-19, and I think I agree with that. And we're moving on. We know that the new normal includes quarantine for a long time. The government from around the world has come up with the quarantine practice as one of the tactics to prevent the spreading of COVID-19. And for someone who are very productive, staying at home for a long time can be frustrating, and whether they like it or not, they have to adapt to this kind of lifestyle. And it leads me to ask doctor if there's any potential psychological effects on quarantine.
Thank you, Ijan. It's actually very interesting, that question, yeah, because when you talk about being quarantined, okay, just imagine you yourself have been, staying at home, or probably those students, those students who were actually in themselves, you've heard how frustrated they were, kan? Because they were staying with their friends instead of being with the family. And those people, even like me, I stayed with my family members. My children came back from their universities, from schools, and we are staying together. But then COVID-19, like I said, has drastically changed lives. And quarantine and isolation seems to be the prevention method, like what you said. That's very good. And we're actually doing that too in Malaysia. We still are doing that. So now it's RMCO, okay? And this invisible enemy, like I said, has caused a lot of fear. So when we talk about the disruptive effects of COVID-19, which has dominated lives of many, resulting in anxiety, you heard Amirul said that, the stressicate and fears, and that should be actually acknowledged. What we tend to do is we tend to ignore instead of acknowledging that. Okay, so quarantine has an effect on all of us. And when we talk about the effect, yeah, because we have the different phases. When I personally heard about the MCO when it's about to begin on the 18th, I was in Johor on the 17th.
All right.
As a counselor, I panicked too. Okay, Amirul, it's just not you. We too stressed out. We experienced that, but we validate that feelings. We know that, hey, this is part of what the government is trying to do to make sure that we are going to be okay. So the psychological effect is there. A lot of people may feel overwhelmed. Some of them may be very confused or very uncertain about what is actually going on, and they can feel very fearful. I too feel that, anxious, numb, and detached. Well, some may have mild reaction, whereas others might have more severe reaction. Like I said, I like listening to Amirul earlier when he said that we should listen to what the government said, because what they said make us all informed and more educated on how to handle the situation. Yes, quarantine may have psychological effect on you. Imagine, like I said, those students who stayed in college and they were, we've heard not from students, but generally those students who complain about food and all like that, can all the other issues, they're actually, what they are showing or indicating is their fear. Okay, it's not that they are not thankful, it's just their fear is talking out loud. So they are feeling all that. So quarantine does that to you. I'm sure, Jijan, you feel the same way too, okay?
I think
Because
there's a lot of psychological effects on me. One of them is like the anxiety problem and the stressful,
Yes,
big stressful.
anxiety.
Yeah, I think I think.
Okay.
All right. So, Amirul, what are some of the psychological effects that you've gone through in this couple of months that you think you can point out more than the other?
Okay, so the one that I face, like for example, me, I'm very active in NGO, so sometimes I have like some anxiety because we lorong haji taib chowkit, and during the first, second, and third phase of MCO, literally the area is surrounded by the red zone. Pasar Chowkit in red zone, Masjid Jami red zone, and we are in like small area in the middle, and we need to go to the field because we need to give aid to the people, right? And then how do we juggle between like our responsibility and helping people, and also in coping with our stress and everything. So the way that I did is I do not go to the Lorong Haji Taib every day. Instead of I go maybe for 2-3 days and maybe rotating between 2 or 3 of our coordinator. Yes, but some of our coordinator do go to the field every single day. Yes, but we also like very like how to feel like afraid, because at one point we like saw in the media people are wearing PPE and everything, and then we started, should we do like that, should we wear like this, should we have a face shield or something like that. But then when we listen to the KKM, to the then that's for the medical and everything, and the supplies is not enough and everything. So yes, at least that helped, yeah. And we face some stress and anxiety.
Yeah, I think we can all agree with the problem that occurs between the government and the KKM, where there's a lot of issue. I think one of them is whether we have to wear mask or not. I think KKM itself told us to wear masks when we are sick, but the government instead said that we have to wear masks when we go out. I think that's one of the issue, and it gives us a lot of psychological effects on people during this quarantine day. And I think, Doctor, can we do a little bit counseling session for the people yang watching us today? For the people going through these psychological effects that you point out a lot of method for for to prevent the psychological effect getting happen to people. Do you have any other method that you want to point out on how we going to might get this kind of effect?
Okay. I think the question is how you're actually going to mitigate this kind of effects. Yeah. So one of the way is what Amirul did. If you notice how he coped is because, like I said, everybody, even the psychologists, even the counselors themselves, that's me lah. So we experience anxiety because when we talk about COVID, it's infectious, highly infectious, and it can cause death. So it's really something that we don't know, we've never heard of. But as you go along, you understand that, hey, this is actually it is actually mutation from SARS-2, kan? SARS-CoV-2. So then you understand that, okay, it affects your lungs. And how do you actually take care of yourself? One of the ways that what Amirul did is to not go out that frequently. So what he did was to actually have a routine, but his routine was reducing the numbers of days that he actually go out, but to make it every alternate days. That's one. Another thing is keeping up to your routine. Okay, when I first actually experienced this, like when you asked the question to Amirul, how does he cope with the working ethics? We first don't know what to do. We are confused too. Not just the students, Amirul, not just the students. We were confused too. What to do, how to handle online class because we are not used to all this. When you talk about online, so everybody gets nervous. But again, we need to adjust. We need to adapt. Mitigation is by having support from your family members, okay? By taking care of your physical health. The KKM has been telling us what to do, the 3 C's. So what are the 3 C's? The confine and all that, I'm sure you know. And to make sure that we all do the 3W, wash, wear, and warn. Say if someone wants to come and, shake hands with me, I'll just say no. So we observe that social distancing and all that. Personal and family history of mental health problems. So if you have issues, maybe some of your family members have issues with that, you need to be able to help yourself first before you could help others. Betul kan? Amirul, you've been helping others. You go out there to give support to others. But before you do that, you need to be okay.
Yes.
Amirul, just like in the airplane. So when the air, what do you call that? The air, apa panggil tu dalam kapal terbang tu, air pressure is low. That thing came down. So you put the mask on yourself first atau siapa dulu? Yourself first. Because in order for you to help others, you need to help yourself first. So what Amirul do, having a routine, taking care of self, okay? Self-care is actually very important. Understanding what the issues are all about, listening to Datuk Hisham every evening at 4 or 5 o'clock, it will help. So those are the ways that you could actually help. But the most important thing is when we talk about psychological effect, you want to reduce the effect of having this anxiety and fear is basically having the knowledge, educate yourself about what is it really, COVID-19 and how to care for yourself. And once you do that, you can get the grasp of what the issues are and you can always move forward, inshallah.
All right, thank you, Doctor, for the answer. I think we will help the others to might get them. I think to be able to understand the situation itself will help us to might get the effect itself. And let's move on. I think we talk about quarantine in general. To be more specific and go deeper, let's talk about the situation in Malaysia itself. We have different paces of stay at home and different social rules comes with it, from MCO to RMCO and so on. And the social rule changes every 2 weeks, I guess. For example, in the first week of MCO, citizens aren't allowed to be in car with more than 2%, and then we have RMCO. The government allowed citizens to have 2 people in one car. Thus, people need to pay attention to this kind of information and the changes of social rule. And I'm a little bit curious, as a bachelor and expert for psychological and counseling matter, uh, will we be able to adapt this rapid change in terms of mentality? And yeah, for doctor.
Okay, you're actually asking that question to me. Yeah, I actually like when you said that you observe that the different phases of the MCO has different outcome. So you see, even our government is actually adjusting.
Mhm.
Even our government is trying to find the best way to actually assist all of us. Okay, as the citizens of Malaysia, and recently, our Prime Minister have actually thanked all of us for actually coming up together, hold hands together to make sure that this is a success.
Yeah.
And if you read the newspaper today, I think on social media, it was stated that Malaysia is one of the best country that have actually, mitigate the effect of COVID-19. So that's very interesting. So again, I just want to highlight that the government is also adjusting, adapting. So do we. Again, knowledge about what COVID is actually is very important. You need to be informed, Ijan. You need to be informed.
All right.
Recently, the World Health Organization has announced that global community must learn to coexist with COVID-19. How can we coexist with COVID-19? It's actually very scary.
Yeah.
But COVID-19 has mutated.
Yeah.
Some say we have the strain, the B strain, the C strain. I don't come from the medic faculty, but I took the effort to understand what are the B strains, type A, type C, and all this. So it
Yeah.
has mutated and have indicated the telltales of infections different. So, for example, children may have symptoms of skin rashes. Some may not be asymptomatic. So these are the things that worry us. At the end of the day, you need to adjust. You need to be knowledgeable. You need to be informed. And you need to understand that COVID-19 will stay. So how do we live with it? Is to be knowledgeable about how to care for us. Again, self-care is also very important. So we need to play this role. All of us needs to be in this together. Yeah.
Yeah, right. I think it's very informative for doctor to say that a lot of things, and thank you for the very insightful answer. And for Amirul, I think it is important for me to ask, as a student, what do you think about the policy itself?
I think the policy, the government taking a really good care of the student. Like we can see how the student be escorted home, and like food are sent to campus, and that's um, yeah. I think I really, how to say, grateful to the government. Yeah, but just some confusion, because some university, maybe some policies is different compared to one another. So sometimes we are confused. So, but generally, as a student, when the government asks to close down all of it, like I really, really agree with this action. Yes.
All right. How about the organization itself? Do you think in this couple of weeks, the government, the organization has become more flexible in terms of doing their job? Or
We are we are not restricted at like 100%.
Mhm.
There are some like ways to do some restriction. We need to do some abroad, like kebenaran, to go on the field, like with limited number of volunteers, some document to be filled in. But at least we know this is for the sake of all. And in the, for example, when we fill in the form, for example, for the GKM to go on the field, and they write down what is COVID is about. They let the NGO know what we are currently facing, and as an NGO we can also distribute the message to the masses. Yes.
all right. Thank you for that. Now let's move on. I want to talk about psychology sustainability. Just to point out, the definition of psychology sustainability is mental well-being, manifest by healthy behavior and feeling of fulfillment of happiness. Now, because of the pandemic, people had to cancel some occasion and events. People had to adapt to be more passive rather than being productive and active. I think the adaptation itself against the definition of psychological sustainability. And maybe, Doctor, can you give us more input on how will the pandemic impact our psychology sustainability?
Thank you for defining it for me. So it makes my life easier. I don't have to explain what psychology sustainability is all about. So, well, basically, that's a good job, Izan.
Thank you.
So, and basically, it's psychology sanity lah. So, how do you cope? How do you manage yourself and all that? Like I said, the new normal is inevitable. You cannot run away. You cannot hide. So, when we talk about change, it's difficult for people to change. Yeah, people do not realize. So, change involves 5 different stages. That is pre-contemplation, where you don't realize that there is a need for change. And then when you contemplation, where you are aware but you still did not do anything, and then you prepare for the actions, how to do it, and then prepare, and then you take action, and finally maintenance is actually very difficult. And I like it when you actually said that for the new normal, people tend to be more passive. It's very difficult. You see, when I just had meetings last Wednesday, automatically when we see each other after 3 months out of excitement, so everybody sees each other, Selamat Hari Raya. So we wanted to go for handshake, but then we just like, oh, have you sanitized yet? So it is quite funny. But then we realized that this is a new way of greetings. So we don't like it, but we still have to do it. The traditional mode of greeting is now adjusted. Okay? So it might be even squeezed out to reduce the spread of the virus. Means we're not going to go do it forever. We're not sure. So like I said, these are all adjustments. So in this new world, mingling with people who we did not know intimately could be the greatest comfort of life. Previously, we have to. Now it's like, okay, I don't have to shake hand. I don't have to say anything because because you might spread the virus. So you can just keep quiet. So simply put, this would mark a profound change in human behavior. So also postponing and reduce mass gatherings. Contohnya, you guys cannot go out to perform a solat Jumaat, but now you can. But even then, only 1/3 of the 1/3 can only go. So my children have been queuing up, still tak ada rezeki. So these are the new adjustments, you see. And the increases of the risk of transmission could actually be reduced. I also like to highlight what Amirul said. As workers from all over the world have been asked to work remotely. Like I said, we are all very jakun when we talk about not like you. You are the millennials. You are very good with IT. We all, what is Zoom? I get very scared. Okay, so but I get very scared. But luckily, UM actually organized online workshops for all of us lecturers. So, but thanks to the advancements in technology and thanks to the creativity of the Malaysians, of all of the lecturers, the students who helped me to understand more about Zoom, Google Meet, apa lagi satu tu, where I forgot the name already say. But anyway, so all this we get to adjust. And when you say that we are more passive, it depends on you. At the end of the day, at the beginning, personally, I don't know what to do. But after that, I started writing. So I've got 3 papers published. I got 3 grants that I'm working on. So it all depends on you. When you talk about sustainability, what is it that you want? So you have all the digital tools. You've got all the support. So today's crisis marks an extreme epoch. Epoch means a new way in our modern history with a huge social upheaval and economic ripple effect. Yeah, everybody is affected. By the end of the day, look at it in a positive way. We get to spend more time with the family. We get to understand people better. And I'm sure the positive things that come out of this, you're going to be a better person in the sense you're more understanding. Thank you, Ijan.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think, the fact that this pandemic has a lot of negative impact rather than its positive impact, I think doctor advice could help us as an audience and also as a student to be more positive about it and to be more, I think, optimistic about it. And yeah, for Amirul, I want to ask, have you thought about how are you going to sustain your mental health while adapting to this new normal?
Okay, sustaining mental health, but actually referring to Ghazi, she's talking about sustainability, right?
Mm.
So actually, in the MCO, a lot of we as a social worker, as an NGO, we always preach for the hikmah.
Mm.
We like
Yeah.
for me, this is our first Ramadan that in Chowkit doesn't have issue of pemaziran. Usually, like we have Baisa Ramadan, like homeless, we receive like 9 to 10 pack, up to 15 pack of meals a day. But for this year, at least we can see like something changes. And despite all those negative, like Kazi said, we have more time to spend with family. For those who are with family, might be very busy before this, and then this looking for hikmah and is a way for me and my team, our team, to stay positive because there's everything like a coin. There's a bad, there's always a two side, right?
Yeah.
And instead of we focusing on the negative side, this, why not we focusing on this? Like, oh, we cannot, at least we cannot shake hand for this moment, this year, and then after this end, then we can how anything. And what we also believe is every pandemic like SARS, H1N1 or MERS-CoV, it will end soon or by like mesti akan tamatnya. Yes,
Yeah.
just keep on positive and like hikmah lah. And also as like lelaki kan, and I appreciate the nikmat of solat berjemaah in the masjid. Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
Then we realize, oh, I didn't do this, and if I had the chance, please God, like give me some chance, like that. Yes.
Ijan, if I may add,
Yeah,
Kate,
okay.
thank you, Amirul. That's wonderful. But do you know that this Ramadan, that's the best time for all of us as a family, when we
Yeah.
can perform Salah all together. So this is the first Ramadan that we're all together.
Yeah, finally.
Macam lagu, yes, America, apa tu cerita apa I forgot dah. We're all in this together. That song kan.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for adding something for the content of today, Doctor. I think before we move on, I think someone asked us to Doctor how to face our toxic environment, especially the routine that we do is not working.
Okay, the question is how to face the toxic moment because the routine is not working.
Mm-hmm.
So again, like I said, if the caller or whoever is listening to, if that question is talking about routine changes too, because every day, imagine if you get up every day, you eat nasi lemak every day, how much you like nasi lemak pun, one day you'll get bored. So you need to have different kind of nasi lemak, the same nasi lemak, but at least satu hari sambal sotong, satu hari rendah, satu hari nasi lemak kosong, satu hari nasi lemak with roti canai, I don't know. But you see, you need to have a different variety and flavors. So when we talk about routine can change too. So you need to adjust. So macam saya sendiri, although when I talk about routine, I work from home too. But 8 hours, I make sure as a lecturer, we just have to clock in once. Previously, we do not have to clock in 8 hours. But because I always believe in not just halal, ya barakah. So I always believe in 8 hours. If I start work at 6:30, I can end at probably 2 o'clock or 3, as long as the cukup 8 hours. I skip lunch because it's Ramadan. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, in between, I can have different things that I do. Kalau saya penat, I can go and look at my cats. I play with my cats. So I adjust. So when you talk about students especially with students, how do you adjust? And online class can be a nightmare. You know why I say that?
Mhm.
Because when students are hiding behind that video kan, dia hide video, I'll be wondering, Ya Allah, what are my students doing? Are they listening? Are they sleeping? Are they actually having lunch while tengah Ramadan ni? So I always create jokes. So this is when I personally have to adjust too. I have to make sure that, okay, my students tak boleh tidur ni because probably the way I talk, they get bored. Okay? So I adjusted. So we have quiz, tiba-tiba tengah-tengah tu I say, okay, stop, let's have quiz. Nganga lah diorang. So these are all the unexpected things, but they're looking forward after that to my class. But the first few classes, they fell asleep, I think, because I was yawning away too. So we adjust. That tanda, again, at the end of the day, what is it that you want? Everybody has a choice. That choice will lead to you being responsible of yourself. Whether you want to be okay or you don't want to be okay, it is really up to you. I hope that suffices.
All right. So,
Thank you.
for I think the username goes to who is Abdullah, who is Mungi. He asked through YouTube live actually, doctor. So I hope that answer from doctor can help you figure out the problem that you are facing right now. Thank you so much, doctor. And I think we are in the final discussion. And last but not least, recently Doctor has been involved, and I think still involved in research of self-care program. I think it is very important to ask this question for the sake of our welfare. We actually looking at the future. How are we going to adapt this new normal for a long time, like for a long period? Because we talk about short period, right? The method of short period. How are we going to adapt this new normal for a long time?
I think now, Ijan, if you notice people that goes out, some of them didn't wear masks already because they have already adjusted and they might think that this is okay, I'm okay. At first, they were actually facing or experiencing anxiety, fear. So they put on the mask, probably mask yang tebal tu, they put on 2 or 3. Okay, or probably they didn't go out at all. But now you see more people who don't take their own hand sanitizer with them. They don't wear masks. They start bringing out their small little children, thinking that the children are not going to be affected, or probably the children are bored at home. So they have adjusted, but probably in not so, orang kata apa, not the right manner. So when we talk about conditioning, it's not adjusting to the new normal sangat. It's about conditioning. When you are used to something, conditioning. When you're used to something, you might feel that, hey, this is the right way to do. Like for example, I personally, I was actually in Maybank yesterday, so I was talking to my husband. Then we were actually, we were discussing, and I realized that, oh my God, Abang, we didn't even wear our mask. So we too were conditioned with this situation. So we rushed to the car, we have spare in the car, so we'll put it up. So everybody needs to realize that this conditioning, if it's done correctly, then it's good. But if you are conditioned, but you tend to take it very lightly and you do it not in the right manner, that can be actually very dangerous for you. So when you talk about new normal, so you need to understand that everybody, like I said, I keep saying this, has strengths and abilities to help them cope with life challenges like what Amirul did. Kan? However, some are particularly vulnerable during the pandemic. Memang ada. So we've been receiving a lot of calls on Talian Kasih. I'm one of the counselors there. So we've been receiving a lot of calls, people that cannot adjust, people that staying in a small flat. Amirul, probably we are the lucky ones and we're feeling much better, inshallah. But we have some unlucky ones that are feeling that they cannot cope. Abuse, they are being abused, and these are the people that may need extra help. So this sense of powerlessness can be immensely frustrating. So however, an individual facing personal challenges can always make choices to be back in control. Remember I told you, choice. Everybody has a choice. Tak kisahlah if you're staying in UM, for example, you're stuck there, you're as a student, but you have the choice to be okay at that moment, or you choose not to be okay, although you are actually in a very safe environment. And this understanding is actually a self empowerment, self-care. Self-empowerment is a bigger umbrella. When we talk about self-empowerment, it's actually the sense of having control and the ability to make positive decisions to achieve the goals and ambition in life. Basically, to achieve goals in life. Lah. So what is it that you want? So it's all up to you. So if you want to be positive, you have to start talking to yourself. Lah. Bangun pagi, Ijan, I look good today. So then you feel good the entire day. Macam tu lah. Okay?
All right. Okay. I think we all can understand that, the perspective that doctor try to yeah. And for Amirul, as a student and representative of our organization for tonight, will we be able to adapt this new normal for a long time?
It depends on what level of the society we are talking to about. Because for us, it will be easier for us, but for the less fortunate, it will be hard for them. Even they cannot afford to buy a new mask. Maybe some of them cannot afford that, and so what is our responsibility as a society, as a human being? So maybe if you have an extra pair and you can offer to those who are less fortunate, or you see maybe there are cases people don't wear masks outside, and you can ask, do you have a mask? I have extra, something like that. And what I do believe is about is in the change is people tend to listen to majority, and people will bandwagoning to the majority and follow whatever. And we as people also need to voice out our, if you feel you are insecure or not safe, you should voice out. That's all.
Right. Thank you so much for the insightful answer. And there you are. We already finished. We already covered everything, I think. And before we end this live stream and the forum event, I think it is good for us to see if there's any audience ask a question, and maybe Dr. Aziz and Amirul can answer the question. And I think there's one question, I guess. What is your opinion about online classes during MCO if this situation extend? From Muhammad Ramlan.
Okay. All right. If it's okay with you, if I can answer that.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So we have, Rahman, we have two different perspectives, from the educator's perspective and also the student's perspective. So from the educator's perspective, so of course we know we need to stay calm. Like I told Ijan earlier, I panic too because I'm not used to all this IT thingy. When you talk about IT, I am deaf, mute and all. So, but I learn. So, but I would like to talk more on the student's perspective. So I'm sure it is about the adaptability struggle. So I like your question because my children are actually facing the same thing. When I went to one of the boys' room, Daniel, and he said, "Mom, I cannot take it. It's very boring. It's just a one-way interactions." So I too learn from my students when I try to make it very interesting. Adaptability struggle is happening not only to you, Rahman, but also to the lecturers, to the educators. So you need to understand the benefits of e-learning and even discuss them with your peers, because it is, yes, it is very challenging. I would say that it is not something new to us, okay? And probably you might also experience technical issues. When you talk about technical issues, we need to understand what kind of technological support that is needed for a certain course, before enrolling in it. And when we talk about technical issues, my children this morning has been complaining, "Mom, matilah I'm going to have exam at 10:30, came down crying sebab tak ada internet." So I said, we all have internet. It's just your what do you call that, laptop. So we managed to assist him. So these are the issues that might scare the students, and also the computer literacy. Students have no issues. For me, little bit, I'm okay now. Alhamdulillah, thank you to COVID. In a way, something positive comes up.
Yeah.
Time management. So we also have received tak naklah kata complain, but cadangan, probably penambahbaikan from students saying that they probably cannot know how to manage their time, because staying at home means they have to take care of their nenek lah. Betul, kes betul ya, nenek lah, ada mak sakit, ayah sakit, have to jaga adik. So these are a bit difficult for our students. And some of our students actually requested to come back to UM to make sure that they have the time to actually study and focus on the studies, and we're actually going to allow that. So time management is something that you also need to care of. Another thing, last but not least, sorry Ijan, self-motivation. So only a positive attitude will help you overcome the challenges in e-learning. So
All right.
that tanda you need to have that. Thank you, Ijan.
Thank you so much, Doctor. I think Rahman, take note on that. You'll be needing a positive mindset to be able to adapt to this kind of new normal. How about you, Amirul? Do you have like tips for Muhammad Rahman?
Uh, a lot of how to say, self-learning. We need to do a lot of extra work, because like we need to be proactive as a student, because even in face-to-face in classes, the lecturer doesn't give like full everything like in their lecture, right? Like we need to do, but with the e-learning we need to do more. So it's depend on us. So I think even we have a lot of challenges. The lecturer are very considerate. The most important thing is communicating with the lecturer, I think. If you have any problem, any issue, or you find any difficulties, need to communicate with the lecturer.
All right. Thank you so much for the tips. I think Muhammad Rahman get a lot of tips for today. For the next day, I think if he goes to class or online classes, I think he will be more positive of because of that kind of tips. Thank you so much for the panelists' answer. And the second question is, a lot of our life is now spent online, and we are very dependent on technology more than ever. Do you think that is healthy? How about you, Dr. Aziz?
Okay, I like that question, because when you talk about being balanced, so it's all about being balanced, kan? Work-life balance, study-life balance, everything pun balance. So when you talk about being online, I can tell you that I've been looking a lot of at my phones and my laptop, so it has been causing me orang kata apa, tired for the eyes. It's very tiring for the eyes. But I've actually found that it's also very motivating, because I've got to learn something new. And yes, it has both pros and cons. So like I said, you need to understand that every 20 minutes you have to look away, and then being too much online can also, sometimes Facebook is there, so instead of doing something else, you're doing Facebook or Instagramming away, so that will take time. So again, you need to be balanced, you need to know how to manage time, you need to take care of yourself. So if you can do that, it's your choice, it's your responsibility.
All right. Thank you so much. How about you, Amirul? Do you have anything to say about this question? Do you have the answer?
Mixed feeling regarding the social media. And actually, we got a lot of good things from the social media, but then personally, I myself, like, time being wasted, like, for, just kejap je 3 hours on Instagram, on Facebook. But then one thing that I learned from MCO, especially because I handle the NGO social media platform, so I learned about the algorithm, about our interests, and also if in our Instagram, our feeds have something we think that it is too distracting for us, we can click a button like block these ads or unfollow something, a certain accounts that we think that might take our times, and after your task completed, you can refollow it and follow it again. So it's depend on us. We the one who control our phone. We are the one who control our time. It's depend on us.
All right. Thank you so much for the answer, Amirul. I think Atira, Nick, I hope that answer could help you with the more tips from our panelists today. And I think we don't have any question anymore, and I think this is the end for our event for today. So I would like to thank to our two special guests today, to Dr. Aziz and Encik Amirul for giving insightful sharing for tonight. Thank you so much. It is my honor to have you, and I would like to thank the audience also uh, for tuning in and stay for more than 1 hour. I, as the head of Forum Podcast team, really appreciate of your participant tonight. Hopefully, everyone having a good time and receive a lot of output from our discussion today. Once again, thank you, Dr. Aziz and Amirul. Any last word from you guys?
I just want to share that in order for us to be always positive, so we need to eliminate the ends. Semua ANT, yeah, automated negative thoughts. Because when we are faced with ends here means the automated negative thoughts. When we experience something, the first thing that comes to our mind are all the negative thoughts. We'll be thinking all the bad things that will happen to us. You need to change this, turn it into something rational, and make sure that you will be okay. This will only makes you move forward, and hopefully you can adjust in this new normal. Thank you,
Yeah, thank you.
Ijan.
Thank you so much. How about Amirul? Do you have any last word for tonight?
So keep yourself entertaining, like do anything yang you also suka. And for me, based on my experience, turun padang, volunteer and everything, those things adalah sort of my therapy also in coping this kind of stress and everything. So yeah, if you are interested anything related to help out, you can please follow our social media, Ar Riqab KL,
Yeah.
and our website arqabkl.org.
Okay, I will. Thank you, Nurul.
Thank you so much, Amirul. Well, I think that's all for today. Thank you so much for everyone, and once again, thank you and have a good weekend.
Thank
It's been 24 hours, I need more hours with you. You spent the weekend getting even. Ooh. We spent the late nights making things right between us. But now it's all good, babe. Roll that backward, babe, and play me close. Cause girls like you run around with guys like me till sundown. When I come through, I need a girl like you, yeah, yeah. Girls like you love fun and yeah, me do what I want. When I come through, I need a girl like you, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I need a girl like you, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I need a girl like you. I spent last night on the last flight to you. I took a whole day up
45. Maybe I'm barely alive. Maybe you taking my shit for the last time. Yeah. Maybe I know that I'm drunk. Maybe I know you're the one. Maybe I'm thinking it's better if you drive. Oh, 'cause girls like you run around with guys like me till sundown. When I come through, I need a girl like you, yeah.
Not too long ago, I was dancing for dollars. No, it's really real if I let you be my mama. You don't want a girl like me, I'm too crazy. But every other girl you meet is fugazi. I'm sure them other girls were nice enough, but you need someone to spice it up. So who you gonna call? Cardi? Come and rev it up like a Harley. Why is the best food always forbidden? I'm coming to you now doing 20 over the limit. The red light, stop. I don't play when it comes to my heart, let's get it though. I don't really want a white horse in a carriage. I'm thinking more white horses and carriage. I need you right here, 'cause every time you fall, I play with this kitty like you play with your guitar.
'Cause girls like you run around with guys like me till sundown. When I come through, I need a girl like you, yeah. Girls like you love fun, yeah. Me do what I want when I come through. I need a girl like you, yeah. I need a girl like you, yeah. I need a girl like you. I need a girl like you.
I know what happens when you die. You become a ghost.
These people were declared dead.
You could take out some truly evil people.
Hello, boys.
This is all so freaking dangerous.
None of us will be remembered. What's about to happen will.
Was that a bad guy?
Me and Benjamin Franco stay at the Banco, getting checks like Nike everywhere that I go. If you ain't getting no pesos, ¿qué estás haciendo?
J-Lo.
Quiero dinero.
Another one.
Me and my man, we stack it up to the ceiling.
More money.
Cállate la boca, let me finish.
More money.
Every day I'm alive, I make a killing.
Let's get it.
Yeah, I swear I'ma get it. Yo quiero dinero. Yo quiero dinero. I just want the green, want the money, want the cash flow. Yo quiero la venta, sí, 50, sí, lo siento. Yo quiero dinero. Yo quiero dinero. I just want the green, want the money, want the cash flow. Yo quiero la venta, sí, 50, sí, lo siento. Soy la princesa San Juan, Puerto Rico. They say money talk, but man talking bilingual. I should be cuffed though, 'cause I don't do singles. In love with the money, so no need to mingle. Just back it up. Hot talk, yeah, back it up. Holla at that if you acting up. You ain't got that, you can sit with us. Yeah. Sign the frames, make you double take. Man and Andy on a double day. Grand just hit me, city on the way. Yo quiero dinero. I just want the green, want the money, want the cash flow. Yo quiero la venta, sí, 50, sí, lo siento.
Cardi
Look,
B.
they gon' do what I say, so Cardi B and J-Lo talk behind my back, but never up in my face, though. I just want my money, chips, guac, and queso. Y'all can kiss my ass, dame un beso. Dominicana, drippin' designer. I got the juice, no Tropicana. I got the box that got the most flavor. Big fat cat like in the bodega. Still make money moves. Tell me what you think. Merengue to the money, bachata to the bank. Man, spice it up, I'm nice sofrito. I need my money, yo necesito. I told ya, I'm Chef Selena. I'm that can of bitch like Serena. We need the rock, run up in the spot. Put it to your head like, give me what you got. Two bad bitches that came from the Bronx. Party from the pole and Jenny from the block.
Yo quiero dinero. I just want the green, want the money, want the cash flow. Yo quiero la venta sin 50, si lo siento. Yo quiero dinero. I just want the dinero. I just want the dinero.